Welcome to episode 64 of Listen at Lunch. Today, as promised, we're going to be discussing using the Curvy Celebrations bundle. On Tuesday, the last episode, we used the Curvy Christmas, and we made some pretty cards with that. I have them here. We made some really pretty cards with that bundle, using the designer series paper that comes in the kit at 10% off. And because there is another, and we also use the dies, because there is another stamp set that coordinates with this variety bundle, I told you we were going to use the Quite Curvy. So in your variety bundle that you can order now during the celebrations, Curvy Celebrations early release product, you can get the Quite Curvy stamp set, the Curvy dies, the Quite Curvy Christmas, Curvy Christmas stamp set, and a package of the classic Christmas designer series papers. They're gorgeous. So you get all of these products at a 10% discount. All of them. It's a one-stop shop item number, and you can get these for 10%. Now through January 4th. So you want to make sure that you get these. This Curvy Christmas, our cards that we made are just beautiful. I love this. And I will be using this a lot more in the episodes to come. So there are the three that we made that were Christmas. And we're going to shift gears and use the Quite Curvy stamp set and make up a variety of different cards this time. And I'm going outside the box because you see these are cutesy. These little birds and flowers, and there's pretty leaves. This is adorable. This little tiny, I don't know, I have a thing for miniatures, so I love that. I love all the sentiments. So we're going to use quite a few of those today, the majority of them today. So let's get started. All right. Not only is this a versatile set, you can use it with any designer series paper, or you can just be, simple and use colored cardstock. The card that I'm going to show you today uses the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. And where did I put my samples? They are right here. The card that I'm demonstrating is the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. And these are beautiful papers. They're 6x6 variety pack. And they're really pretty. And they coordinate with a lot of gorgeous colors too. I'm also going to be using two others. Oh, I forgot one of them. I'm going to be using the Forever Greenery, which we've talked about this. This is a must-have. I love this. And we're also going to be using the Peony Garden, which I don't have the sample papers in front of me. I didn't grab that one. Sorry. All right. So we're going to go outside the box. The samples that you see in this brochure, this flyer, kind of shows florals, and this is really pretty. I'm dying to do this because I love this multi-layered, different colors. I can see me getting a lot of use out of that. And then the other two samples, the one sample using the Quite Curvy has the little birds, but I'm going way outside the box today, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, I chose my card base as Seaside Spray, and I'm going to give it a crisp fold again so that it lays flat. So you want to use your bone folder for that. Next, I chose to mat my designer series paper with Misty Moonlight, but we're not going to put that together quite yet. Let me go. Oh. Sorry. All right. Gotta get my sample back. All right, so then I have this beautiful piece of Designer Series paper from the Flowers for Every Season that we're gonna mat on there. And then I already cut out with these exquisite dies that we have. I cut out the dotted frame in Misty Moonlight, and then I cut out another piece in Whisper White using this ornate die. So, very pretty. And I should show you, while I have those dies out, please be right here. Well, here's one. When you cut out your dies with the little dots here, you get a nice swervy left over. That's just a clean cut without the ornate little dots. So you could be layering these, you know, behind the piece that you have. So don't throw away these papers, because these are fun little papers that you can use. Here's one in white. Like, that would be cute on a card, hey? I think. I don't know. So don't throw out your little pieces that you get after you've... oh, here's another one. Here we go. This is what I was going to show you. So pretty much like this, you know, and then you can separate it, and then you can do stamp a greeting on different color cardstock underneath these. So I just want to show you that. Don't throw out your pieces. So now that I've got these, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to be layering this on top of the Misty Moonlight, the Whisper White on top of the Misty Moonlight. And both of these dies are included in the die kit. And we're going to stamp with the Wishing You the Happiest of Birthdays. I kind of like thinking of you too. I thought I got Thinking of You Makes My Day. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you again. I showed you before, but just a nice friendly reminder. The best way, because these are palatable, is that the word I'm looking for? These are photopolymer stamps, and when they're long like this, when you go to put them on, you could actually twist them and manipulate them different ways. But I want the curve that's the natural curve. So here's what you do for mounting your stamp on the block so it has a natural curve. You're just going to take it off of your vinyl sheet here, the greeting that you want to use, and you're just going to let it fall down onto your mat here and let it naturally take its shape. And then you're going to take your block and just go straight down onto your stamp. How cool is that, right? Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink. And because it's a photopolymer, I'm pulling out my Stampin' Pierce mat so that there's some cush, because the red rubber gives you that cush, and I don't have the red rubber here. All right, this is going to look great. And this kind of lines up with the swirl. So I'm really excited about this. All right, so you can see right where you're stamping. So I'm going to tap it lightly because this is a super juicy ink pad. And then you can see that you've got it all inked up. Oops, and then you will get some on your, oh heck, I'm inking a latte, so I'll just do that. Okay. So you've got it all inked up. Then you're going to line it up how you want it to show. I am not happy with this, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clean this off. Because, you know, when you first use, this is the first time I'm using this stamp. When you first use it, sometimes there's a little like film on top of your stamp, you know, that doesn't allow you to get a good ink impression. So I'm just going to rub this. You can rub it on cardstock, but you really need to just rub your photopolymer stamp on a piece of cardstock before you use it, because then it takes off that little film and you'll get a cleaner image when you ink it up. Okay, so I just laid it flat. It's taken its own shape. Put my clear block over the top of it. Now I'm going to come back and ink it up because I saw there were some, yeah, so much better. I saw that there were some like spots that didn't look like they wanted to take the ink. And that means you need to just get that static off your stamp before you use it. Hopefully that's a good tip that you didn't know. Okay, and then I'm going to line this up with the curve. And it's going to go pretty much like that. My name is Carrie, my name is Carrie, my name is Carrie. Voila! It flows right with that curve. Isn't that sweet? So I'm going to clean that off. Because I like to have a clean stamp and close up my ink pad so I'm not inking too much. Alright, and then I'm going to line this up onto the mat that I've cut out of Misty Moonlight. Okay, and I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue. Come on, there you are. Okay. I know I'm going to be trimming a little bit off, so that should be good. Probably a little too much. But this should be good. And then I'm going to line this up perfectly. And there's a little bit more than I need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. There we go. It's for you, Cindy. All right, next I'm going to take my Designer Series paper here and I'm going to line this up on my Designer Series paper. Oh, I should have my silicone mat out. Let's get rid of that. We're done stamping. So next I will take my multi-purpose liquid glue and ever so lightly, that was a little too goopy on the last one, ever so lightly, I'm going to put some multi-purpose liquid glue. You could actually extend the Misty Moonlight so that it hung off the bottom of the Whisper White and have really a cute little border, but I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to line this up here so it's even. I guess I'll cut a little off each side because I'll have those holes covered. And I'll line this up so it's straight. Push it over just a smidgen. Straight. Looks good. Alright. Now we've got this all set, but we've got this overhang on both sides. So you're going to want to take your paper snips and very carefully, or you could take your paper trimmer. I bet that would work too. And come up and just cut along the Designer Series paper. There's one piece that has some glue on it. And you don't need to save those little pieces because they're too small. Right? Alright. So there, I've got those. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, oh, this looks so pretty, just like this, doesn't it? Okay, next I'm going to mount this onto the Misty Moonlight. I was just talking with my friend Vicki today about this multi-purpose liquid glue. I go through a lot, but it's really probably my #1 adhesive right now because it works for all kinds of mediums. Okay, so I've lined this up onto my Misty Moonlight. Oh, so pretty. These are elegant colors. This is Bumblebee, by the way. Bumblebee, that's in color right now with the Misty Moonlight. And here's Seaside Spray. So before I put this on, I think it needs just a little bit something else. And I have just that. So, I'm going to pull out my good paper snips. And we are going to turn this upside down. And we're going to wrap this around a couple times. And you know the reason we're turning it upside down? Yes, you do. I know you do. The reason is when you tie your bows, because I'm going to tie a pretty little bow, when you tie your bows upside down, the tails hang nicely where they're supposed to go down here. If you tie it right side up, your tails are going to fly up. If that's not something you notice, just skip that tip. Okay, so here we go. We're going to tie a pretty bow. And with this pretty linen thread, you have to be careful because it is Misty Moonlight and Whisper White Baker's Twine, like together with a silver glimmer. So you want to be careful when you're doing this because it will unravel. Okay, there we have this really pretty bow, don't we? I think it's really pretty. Let's move it up just a smidgen. Great. And we'll tie off these, cut off these ends. And now, instead of the multi-purpose liquid glue, because we have ribbon, I'm going to go with the Stampin' Seal Plus. So, this Stampin' Seal Plus works great. You just glide it over real soft. Do not press down too hard because then it will catch on your cardstock and then rip your cardstock off because it's so strong. So if you just glide it gently, and it's all segmented, so when you lift it, you don't have to do anything fancy like twist it back up like the Stampin' Seal. The Plus, you just lift it and it breaks off in these segments that you have. Okay. Now we have this. We're going to take our Seaside Spray and mount this right on the card. And voila, you have a gorgeous card. So, so pretty. I'm going to trim these down just a smidgen. Ah, love this card. Don't you? What do you think? I think it's pretty. If you wanted to, you could take a piece of Whisper White and cut it and put it inside. Just to finish it off nicely, that you could write on Whisper White. But it's soft enough color, the Seaside Spray, that you can just write right on the Seaside Spray. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, guess what we're going to do now? I'm going to show you some other cards I made. This is using and these are super simple. So this card is made using the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper and Hooray for You stamp. Look at that. This is a soft seafoam card base with some pretty peacock and this great Forever Greenery Designer Series paper, and just stamped up with pretty peacock ink on Whisper White. Isn't that sweet? I love it. I love it. So these are all kind of generic. This one is super pretty. This is also using the Forever Greenery, and we're using the Your One in a Million. And I added some holiday rhinestones and some gold twine, gold cord. I forget what that's called, but it is from the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. Gorgeous, right? I really like that one too. And then this one is my absolute favorite. This is from the Peony Garden designer series paper, and we're using the Made with Love Just For You and the Tasteful Touches dies. Oh my gosh. The label is from the Tasteful Touches dies, but the rest are from the Quite Curvy bundle. There we go. And these little leaves are from the Quite Curvy bundle. And here I colored this in with Old Olive Blends. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for joining me today. This is what I have for you. I hope you're having an excellent day and you go into the weekend and enjoy your time. If you would like to join me for events, that I have limited space at my events, but if we have more than enough people that want to come, I will accommodate a second class. So be sure you're on my email list. If you like these, I would love for you to share this so that I can meet more friends to stamp with, because that's what stamping's all about. It's so fun. All right. Reach out to me with any questions you have, because I'm always happy to talk to you. I love what I do, and I love sharing with you. All right. Stay well and be blessed.